Hello everyone, thought it'd be cool to do something a bit different. Me and my friends Myers have been checking out My Little Pony Infection AUs. I'm a big fan of My Little Pony. I've referenced it multiple times in videos. Myers, you didn't even watch the show, right?
Just like one or twice.
The first point I want to talk about this with the story wasn't scary, but it was very good. In comparison to a lot of like grimdark type of My Little Pony stories, darker stories are called just My Little Pony Grimdarks. This one wasn't really scary. It's not like even that sad either, like Diary of a Time Looper. But it did have a really good story and I liked it a lot. I thought its progression was really good, even though I do have a few issues with it. Myers, what did you think? Did you think it was scary?
Honestly, not at all. Like it was anxiety inducing because of course you don't know what was gonna happen with the characters because you actually care about them. But it's scary to actually be like, oh my god, there's gonna be a golden pony outside of my window. No, it's not gonna
Like
be something
Divine
like that.
Swamp Fever, like I remember you were thinking about that one while you're watching it in Disturbed, and while I was watching that one I was looking behind me and everything because it actually is very creepy, and what it does to the ponies is very disturbing, where they turn into trees and all of that. You know, in My Golden Pony, with the ponies becoming shiny and all of that, I think the infection idea is really cool, but I didn't find it particularly disturbing. I more so just felt like, oh no, it looks like we lost Rarity, or is Fluttershy going to actually transform into like the later stages? Are we going to lose Fluttershy?
Like it would be more like a zombie story, you know. It's more like a zombie story where you just care about the characters and that's it. You're not really that horrified. There are disturbing moments, but it's not like super common, and it's not enough to make you feel fear.
Yeah, exactly. And do you personally think that it has a little bit to do with the art style?
I think part of it, yeah, but it's also just the concept. To be honest, the concept could perfectly be in a My Little Pony story, aside from just the killing
Oh,
and,
killing and like bleeding
and the
from
killing.
because you're internally like melting on the inside,
Yeah,
so you start
internally
bleeding from your
melting.
mouth and stuff. I also think that that makes it like even better. That makes it stand out from a lot of these other ones. Like Twilight's Eden could definitely never happen. Like Divine Swamp Fever, that of course that's taken and inspired from the show, but that can definitely never happen. You know, a lot of these
Yeah.
stories, they could just never happen. But like I can definitely see a plot in My Little Pony where like Rarity gets too obsessed with like a makeup product that makes her shiny, and so it's like a lesson about vanity and stuff. I can definitely see that actually being a thing, minus the infection quality. Point two that I had about the show, the plot twist at the end was pretty cool, with Maisie lying about Makoto being the one who thought of the idea of having the fungus be your makeup.
In my opinion, I think it was good, but it didn't change much for me because at that
Really?
point of the story, I was just more worried about if they're gonna get out of there or not.
Okay, yeah, that's fair.
Because yeah,
Her sister literally became like a god basically. She was about to wipe their asses
almost,
out.
yeah,
Almost,
almost.
yeah, but she had too much power to actually like survive it and everything. Point three, the infection ID is very interesting, and little details like the loss of ponies' cutie marks when they become infected, even the title as the comic continues becoming more gold, is amazing.
Oh yeah, I didn't notice that. Also more bloody,
Yeah, it
and
becomes
actually
more
the
bloody.
blood like dries out in the final chapter.
Oh, I didn't notice that. I just noticed it was becoming more and more gold. That was super cool. One thing I actually like too that I didn't write down is that I like that it wasn't like super mysterious. Everything that was kind of mysterious in the story, like for example, who ripped those pages out of Twilight's book when it came to the fungus? Well, we learned later directly that it was a Rarity. I actually like that you don't have to do much theory crafting.
Like it does give you food for thought, but it's not like, oh, let's give this a mystery for the whole story and reveal it in the end. No, it's just to make you question things a little bit.
That's just incredible, dude. I really like that. And
Same here.
the loss of the pony cutie marks, it really shows that since the cutie marks in the show represent like what a pony's really good at or what they're really passionate about, the loss of them, since the fungus is taking over and pretending to be you, is really symbolic of the fact that this person has completely lost who they actually are, and what's inside of them is not them at all. 4, the tonal control is great, and certain things like the invisibility not working is really sharp and smart, and everything is well built up, like Apple sneezing throughout the story and that coming into play when they're hiding from Makoto in Canterlot's castle. Generally nothing in the story feels like it just happens out of nowhere.
Yeah, they use every resource in the story actually. Nothing is left out.
With that, we can get into the issues. So what were you going to say?
I was gonna say I don't have much issues with the story, but one of them. But I feel I wanted to see more of the aftermath. You know, maybe a episode like dedicated to what happens after, because they just tell you, hey, our ponies died. You know,
like 1,000 of them died. Like Rarity is dead.
Died. Like, what's gonna happen with the world now? Also, they say that, you know, they're gonna dedicate themselves to eradicate the plant and all that. But what's gonna happen with the rest of characters? Oh, I wanted to see them deal with how the world is now.
Yeah, that would have actually been really cool. It would have been cool to see like how they deal with the fact that Rarity is dead. I mean, in the show, it's the main 6 are really important because they wield the elements of harmony. If just one of them are like outside of their element, then they no longer can do that anymore, you know. So I mean, that's really bad too, for in case other things happen.
Sorry if I almost interrupted you. No, it's fine. I was gonna say, no, it is not fine.
It's not fine, Myers. I'm gonna ban you. Myers, you gotta try this new product.
I'm just gonna say a whole crate of this product you never heard of in your life. I was gonna say, but I mean, I can understand the creator not continuing the story, because I don't know if you noticed, but it's been going for years now. Also, like when they were making the ending, they had troubles with school and they were very stressed out. So I don't think they could short the story. I don't think they cut it short, because it does make sense how it ends up. But if they wanted to make it like show some of the aftermath, they probably couldn't.
Now that
I can understand
context.
Not doing the aftermath.
I was gonna talk about that in 2 points, kind of. In my third point about what issues I had is that I was really thinking about the ending and all that, and I said that the ending, pacing wise, to me felt a bit too quick. It felt like it was faster than a lot of the other events that happened, and given how big and grand it was, it kind of felt like, and how much it was built up too, it kind of felt like there would be like more to it, if that makes a lot of sense, like the final confrontation. But knowing the context that the creator was struggling with school and potentially stuff in real life, it makes more sense.
But I mean, it's still a good ending. It could have been a bit better, but it's still a good ending. So, and it doesn't undermine what happened before, you know. So it's still good. Like, I don't think it didn't change much from me.
Yeah, that is true. I was about to say, unlike Digital Circus, which completely undermined everything.
No, Alex, you don't understand. Digital Circus is the best story I ever.
Dude, I forgot. You're right. I need to go watch like 8 videos.
Isn't
she lovely? I should have.
I forgot to bring a point of mine.
What was it?
I was gonna say, you read the story through TikTok, right?
Yes, I did.
I don't use TikTok. I read it, and I like the use of songs through the story. They're not original, of course.
Oh, yeah.
The creator uses a lot of different different songs, and most of them made sense. I like that. I liked having, like, you know, the creator putting a song they think fits that chapter and actually fits, and I like that. So
yeah, it's a really good use of using music in it with the comics, so you can actually like feel how it is, instead of just like it being, I don't know if Webtoon allows you to. I remember reading Everything Is Fine. It put on music when you were watching it, but I think the format of TikTok, where like you can swipe up immediately to see the next part, and then it chooses, you know, music like that you can choose from a vast library. I think that's really cool. There's also that tick infection one. It also does that too, but I haven't finished that one yet. A second point that I had is the infection too. This infection spreading through the air is only used in the last part of the story, basically. It would have been cool if it was used more. We do learn that the infection spreads through the air, and it's really only relevant in like the final arc, because it ends up making them visible when they use the invisibility spell. And I think that it could have been cool if it was more dangerous to even like try and recover different ponies, like Maisie, for example. It would have been more interesting. She could just like move incorrectly, and spores off of her could like infect someone, and they have to go into quarantine. Something like that. I don't know. I thought that could have been, I felt like that was a little bit underused.
Okay, what I understood from that scene is that those guards, because remember, guards are there, right? Like in the middle of like that. What would you say? Spore cloud? No, it's not spores. It's like makeup. Like you know the makeup is like some kind of like dust. It's like,
yeah, it's kind of like dust,
like powder.
In the air.
That what I thought from that scene is that those guards. I think they should have explained that a little bit better. They should
Probably. You
explain a little
think
bit, but
that they always re-put on the makeup, so it's like it's just in the air, like that
yeah.
scene where Makoto puts on the makeup and then it like it's just dust in the air.
I thought those guards put so much makeup on them, or so often, that like a lot of makeup was in the air. Or maybe just Makoto like going through going through that hall, just putting makeup all the time, also does that.
That explanation makes a lot of sense, but they just, I guess it's just implied. I guess that's just an implied kind of thing. So here's my biggest, I guess, issue. I don't even, this is not really an issue. I really like the story, but I'm mixed on if this story was or wasn't long enough. The pacing feels right, but it also feels like there could have been some more exploration with how the absorption works, aside from it being used only twice. The hive mind stuff could have been more integral to them trying to fight them off in different conflicts, and I feel like more could have been done with the non-main 6 characters, even though I really thought it was great.
Honestly, yeah, I do agree. I feel the story is good. It's not trying to be something too big, but that's the thing. I feel it is big. It is kind of a big story. You know, I think it should have focused more on some other characters as well. Maybe some chapters it could be focused on these characters and this and that. Maybe like a side story, or I don't know, something like that. Something small, nothing too big. No, I don't want the creator to be showing, hey, there's this group of survivors and this other one, because it would be cool. It would be cool.
That'd be cool.
That would be
a bit too much extra.
Yeah, it would be too much. Maybe, yeah, if they could have explored just a little bit more, it would have been good. But even then, I still feel they did good what they have. And I think the creator said this is like their first story like this, their first My Little Pony story like this. So, you know, I think they did a pretty good job.
Yeah, they did for their first type of, especially for their first, this is great.
Yeah.
Like Golden Pony is great. I really I thought it was great. I have this final question that I lifted from this AU lore explained video that he asked, and I thought it was interesting. Should Celestia have tried to fight off the infection, or was her Heaven's Barrier actually a good choice?
I actually did thought about that, but it's like what Luna said to Twilight in the dream. Like, she did apologize, Luna did apologize to her, because, I mean, the action seemed kind of selfish, but that's the thing. They were gonna fight a lot of ponies, like a lot of infected ponies. Also, the infection was probably through the air, because there was so much ponies. They would have probably gotten infected some way, somewhat. But they just couldn't get too close to them. It was too dangerous for them to fight them. I think it was the good choice. So yeah, my opinion is that I think it was a good choice. First of all, the only way for them to actually neutralize them is to kill them, and I think Celestia won't want to do that. Well, Luna either, I think.
Probably not Luna either.
If they get infected, everybody's done. Everybody's done. There's nothing they could have done.
But then on the other hand, right, if Princess Luna and Celestia just decided to stay in their barrier, and Twilight did not succeed, and Pinkie Pie and all of them did not succeed. Like, let's say the only change is that Zecora did not know about that plant that pauses them for just a second. If that was the only change, then Princess Celestia and Luna would basically just be hiding in their barrier until the magic wears off, whenever that is. Because the main 6 and everyone else, they wouldn't have an actual way to fight off anyone. Celestia and Luna didn't know that Zecora knew that. So them hiding in that bubble, it makes sense why Luna would say sorry, because they don't actually know if the main 6 and everyone can actually fight this infection off. And the only ones that are actually powerful enough to destroy them, I mean, we don't see Discord like at all in this story, so I don't think he's like reformed from being evil. I think Twilight's still a unicorn in this.
Discord, like the creator said that Discord during that time, he was like sleeping.
He's still petrified, isn't he? Yeah, so this takes place in probably like mid season 2. That's why Twilight's still a unicorn. Good choice, by the way. Discord would have just wiped everyone out. It's a really good choice. Yeah. With Discord still petrified and out of the way, there's no other ponies that could reliably stop this infection. The only ones that could do it were Celestia and Luna, if they were to realize what was going on. You know, it really could have gone extremely terribly. They could have really doomed everyone by not trying to fight them, which is why I personally think that having Celestia and Luna choosing to fight them off would have also been a really good choice. It might have even been a better choice. Even though there's a risk of the infection. You know, if they get infected, they're boned, as you said, which is 100% true.
Even if one of them gets infected, they're boned.
Yeah, exactly, because they don't know how to stop it. They only figured it out because of Twilight's intelligence.
If Luna gets infected, that is That
Yo, imagine
motherfucker
Luna
will
going into
will
fucking
get
people's
into the dream.
dreams and then inspiring them to put on the makeup or some weird shit.
Like no, there's no. It wouldn't like it wouldn't been so catastrophic. Plus, if they managed to fight him off and escape, I think the story would have been a bit more boring, I
That's
guess.
true. The story generally is just more interesting if they decide to stay in that bubble. I definitely get narratively, it's way more cool and it's way more satisfying to have them stay in the bubble and do that selfish thing so our main characters could successfully figure out a way to stop the infection. But I mean, just like in a sense of purely what they could have done, I think it still would have been a valid choice for them to use their power to fight them off.